soon as I got home, I put on the rouge and blush, and I'm walking around for about 10 minutes, and my husband starts screaming. I run to the mirror, and my skin is literally melting off like a candle.
Well, she didn't tell the waitress that she had any allergies, so how are we supposed to know that she's allergic to rat poison?
You know, glory hole etiquette just states that before you stick your thing in there, you have to use whatever you can to wipe it off.
You're cooking a baby.
If it's for TikTok, okay, you have no idea how hard it is to be an influencer, and I am just 1 million followers away from 1 million followers.
Thanks a lot, guys, for coming on my show. Can you do me a favor and just state your names and your occupations for the call, please?
My name is Stanley Bremen. I just started a party planning business. We do all kinds of parties, weddings, birthday parties, only for adults though. I strictly employ ex-convicts. Being one myself, I know how difficult it is to find a good job when you get out of jail.
I got you. So if you don't mind me asking, what did you do to go to jail?
Prison? Well, human trafficking. So I accidentally put my real return address on the shipping crate, and it led the feds right to my front door.
Okay. And what about you, sir?
My name is Richard Stales, and I'm a bounty hunter of sorts.
All right, well, that sounds fun. We actually had one on the show last season. So what, or I guess I should say, who do you hunt?
Well, you know how a lot of these companies, they're sort of shying away from experimenting on animals and all that.
Yeah.
Well, now they're sort of experimenting on real people. So what I do is I go underground, find communities of mole people, or moles as I call them, and I poison them. I drag them to the surface, and then I deliver them to the highest bidder.
Don't you ever get scared of catching anything or them being dangerous or?
No, not at all. Moles are actually very nice, extremely trusting, especially the ones with children, or mini moles as I call them. And I basically just lure it out into the open with food, and they basically just follow me wherever.
All right, well, all right, guys, so why are we here? Actually, you know what? Tell me how you guys met. Give me a little background.
Okay, before that though, real quick,
Yeah.
speaking of experimenting on people, whatever happened to that woman who, I don't know, the makeup company sent her makeup that made her face melt off?
Oh, yeah, well, we tried calling her, but she can only email and text now because that company, they sent her some eyeliner and lipstick kind of as a, I'm sorry for melting off your face type present. And the eyeliner ended up partially blinding her, and she accidentally ingested some of the lipstick. So now she has no more vocal cords. They just melted right off.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, now she gets the best parking spot because of her handicap sticker. And so we here at the Mediation Files, we basically like to say everything has a silver lining, But talk to me, guys. Give me a little bit of background. Oh, actually, Richard, yeah, tell me what's going on.
Okay, so my fiance and I, we were planning a wedding. She put me in charge. She wanted me to handle everything because, I mean, she just wanted to go to the courthouse, but I wanted a really big wedding.
Okay, that's interesting. You very rarely see guys wanting the big wedding. Usually it's the women, but go ahead.
So I find Stanley online.
Okay.
He's advertising on one of those TikTok ads saying how, he can do any party, any size, he's the cheapest around, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. Okay, is that true, Stanley?
That is true. I'm just starting up my business, and I'm mainly just trying to get referrals right now.
Okay, so what happens next?
So I sent him a message, and we did our consultation. He asked me, what my budget was, how many guests I expected to have at the party, and a bunch of other basic questions.
All right, and so what were some of those answers?
Well, all right. He told me that he was planning on having 75 guests, and he had a budget of $20,000.
That seems $20,000 for 75 people. That seems a little bit overkill, right? Or no?
No, I mean, not really. So it included styling for the fiance, the priest for the ceremony, and the food for catering.
So the first problem was the stylist for my fiance.
Yeah, all right. So in fairness, it was the stylist's first time actually doing hair and makeup on a live person. She did watch a lot of YouTube videos, and she was prepared. And she also told me that her cataracts would not interfere with her work.
Well, if this was her first time, what did she do before hair and makeup?
She did some time for some stuff. I don't think it was anything serious. Her background check hasn't come back yet.
Huh.
I guess the stylist, she
Yeah.
told my wife that it was bad luck for her to look into the mirror at her makeup before the wedding.
Okay.
So she didn't take her headrest off or her veil off until she got to the altar.
Uh-huh.
And when she did, her hair came off with it. She was bald, balder than I am. And her face and head, it looked like it had been, she'd been spray painted.
Spray painted. That's it. That's what it was. All right. So she was a gang member in Compton, and the spray paint, that was basically her just tagging your wife, just to like marking her territory. It's no big deal.
So I'm standing at the altar with my bald fiance who has gang symbols all over her face and head. She's crying, the makeup's wearing off. And so you know what the stylist does? She comes up to my wife and she tells her to stop crying or she'll give her something to really cry about. And then retags her face.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So what happens next?
The priest,
Yeah.
the priest he brings us, I highly doubt that he was a real priest.
Why so?
Well, for one thing, as soon as he comes in, he says that everyone under the age of 12 has to leave the room and stay at least 500 feet away. Weird, right? But okay, whatever. Then he kept bending down and adjusting something on his ankle, and it looked like it was beeping and blinking. And later on, he whispered to my wife, he said, "Don't worry, I'm sure your next wedding is going to be much better."
Oh,
I'm sure it will too. All right. So, all right, look, the priest had a little trouble with the law a few years ago.
okay.
Complete misunderstanding. Before he was a priest, he was a Boy Scout leader, and he liked to give the kids what he called a full camping experience. He would never let the kids go to the bathroom alone. And in the police report, some of the parents complained that he used to watch the kids go to the bathroom.
So, Richard, I'm assuming no background check happened at all, ever, huh?
I mean, it was a TikTok ad. So, I just thought, it has to be legit.
Okay. So what happens next?
So we get to the reception.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, his system is that people get food based on what gifts they brought us.
That actually doesn't sound like a bad system.
So my wife,
Yeah.
who hasn't stopped crying since the vows, actually, I take that back. She's not crying, she's sobbing
Sure.
because the stylist told her not to cry, or else.
Oh,
She starts opening gifts and reading the names of the givers. And the first gift was an $8 gift card to Whole Foods given by my wife's aunt.
well,
Look, it cost $10 just to walk into Whole Foods. She didn't write how much was on the card, so I had them read it out so everybody could hear how cheap her aunt was.
She gets $500 a month on disability, has no insurance, and she's fighting cancer.
Don't come to a wedding you can't afford. That's what I say. So she got the steak.
oh, okay. Well, she got the steak. What's wrong with that? It sounds so
Well,
bad.
apparently the steak was just painted brown on the outside, but completely raw on the inside. So it looked cooked, but when she ate it, she ended up getting sick. And it was the same for everyone else whose gift wasn't up to standard.
Oh,
Look, man, you got fooled into thinking you were going to get good gifts. Your guests got fooled into thinking they were going to make it out of there without food poisoning. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
yeah, I'm a fan of science too. So, what did someone say you brought a good gift? What did they get?
So the very next gift, it was $500 gift card to Home Depot.
Okay.
She reads off the name. The server brings them a Hot Pocket with a side of rice.
Oh,
See, that's what happens when you put a little effort into your wedding gift. You get treated like a real person. And don't act like that Hot Pocket didn't have 2 meats inside it.
oh, yikes. Okay, so what's next?
Well, Stanley claims he ran out of money after paying for all these inmates and the food, so he could only afford plastic flowers.
That's right.
Well, I'm not too familiar with weddings personally, so I don't know. Is that customary, or are they supposed to be real, or what?
All right, so my wife, who's now completely cried off her makeup at this
Yeah.
point, she's shaking, paranoid, looking around to make sure the stylist is gone.
Sure.
She goes up to throw the, the bouquet,
Yeah.
and it being plastic, okay, the stem gets caught in her cousin's eye.
Yeah, and that proves just how stupid traditions are. There ain't no way Cyclops is getting married next anyway. No one wants to marry a pirate. We just debunked wedding superstitions. You're welcome.
The whole wedding was a complete disaster.
Speaking of though, Richard, so why are you here? And
Well-
actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Better question. Where's your wife?
Annulment. She's in therapy. This whole experience has really messed her up. She's completely traumatized.
Oh, okay. All right. So now I guess I should ask you then, why are you here?
Well, I lost my wife because of this guy.
Okay.
60 people are dying in the hospital with food poisoning.
Yeah.
My wife's cousin lost an eye.
Ooh.
4 children are missing.
Oh,
And if I'm being honest, I feel like I overpaid for this whole thing.
okay. Well, the wife thing, I can't really help you with. And I can't do anything about the 60 people that are in the hospital for food poisoning. I really can't do anything about the cousin's eye, but the overpayment thing, I might be able to help. So Stanley, what do you think about all this?
All right, look, I kind of feel like this whole experience might hurt my referrals.
Sure.
And like I said from the beginning, that's what I got into this for anyway. That's why I did the wedding so cheap, so I could get some good referrals.
Right.
So how about I throw $300 back at you?
$300. 4 children are missing.
Are they yours?
Well, I mean, no.
Well, I'm not getting involved in that. You don't see me looking for the missing priest, do you? Look, I lost something too. How about this? You give me some good reviews online. I can do 500. I'll break even, but it'll be worth it for me to get a referral.
And I also want a discount at my next party.
Now, come on, man. You're killing me here. All right, you know what? Fine. 500 and a discount on your next party.
Deal. Thanks, Ryan. I really appreciate your help.
Don't thank me. Don't thank me. You're welcome. You're welcome. Stanley, I hope you feel like you got something out of this too. And here, this is actually going to Stanley. So what's up with the stylist? Is she single? She into guys? Because if not, I can basically be anything that she wants me to be.
You know, actually, I think she's seeing Richard's ex. She says they're dating and calls her girlfriend now. So
Oh,